Hey guys, here are the answers to the first page. I'm not really going to go ahead and explain all of them, but in basically to get, once you know angle 1, to get the other angles, you have vertical angles, you have corresponding angles. You'll notice that each of these angles I got, and then the other angles I got because they're 5 and 6 are a linear pair. So once you know 5 or 6, you can get the other one by doing 180 minus whatever the angle is. The big key information for these problems were that L and M are parallel. Okay? For number 2, once you know that angle 1 is x, the corresponding angles are x. The 1 and 8 are alternate exterior. That's the same x. And then angle 4 is x. To get angle 2, 3, 6, and 7, just know that, like for instance, angle 1 and angle 2, they're a linear pair, so they're going to add up to 180. So to find out angle 2, you would do 180 minus x. Number 3 is done pretty much the same exact way. Once you know angle 1 is 2x minus 9, all the other angles are 2x minus 9. To get the angles that aren't equal to that, you would just go ahead and do 180 minus, and then in parentheses 2x minus 9. And when you distribute the negative sign, you actually end up getting a positive 189 and a negative 2x, which you could write 189 minus 2x or negative 2x plus 189. But I got that from doing 2x minus 9, 180 minus 2x minus 9. Okay? The other ones are a little bit trickier. To get 4 and you get angle 2 and angle 6, and you should know that angle 2 and angle 6 are both corresponding. So right here, you can set them as equal. Solve to get x equals 12, and then plug it back in to get angle 2. And once you have angle 2, you can get 1 and 7, because 7 is the same as angle 2, which is 94 degrees. And angle 1 is supplement to angle 2, which is 86 degrees. Number 5 will give you 4 and 6. 4 and 6 are same side interior angle. So the first equation you need to write, which is right here, I'm underlining it, is that when you add them up, you get equal to 180. Well, noticing that you have a quadratic equation, the only way to solve is to combine and move everything over so it's set equal to 0. When you have 3x squared plus 15x plus 30 equals 180, and you move it over, you get 3x squared plus 15x minus 150. You should notice that right here, so you really should have noticed that 3x squared, 15x, and negative 150, they're all multiples of 3. And you could, 0 could be divided by 3 as well, because you just get 0. So you divide each of these by 3, and you get a little bit of a smaller equation. This is an equation you could have used the quadratic formula, but I factored. I found two things that multiply negative 50 that add to 5, positive 10, negative 5. When you set each of these equal to 0, which I did right here, you get two answers, negative 10 and 5. The negative 10 doesn't work because when you plug in a negative 10, you get a negative angle, which is impossible. So the only answer that works is x equals 5. When I plug it back in, I get an answer of 85 degrees. And since angle 8 and angle 4 are equal, you also get 85 degrees. So this problem number 6, you have to know that when you have 1 and 4 vertical, so 1 is equal or congruent to 4. Angle 4 is congruent to angle 5, so I put equal, but it's congruent. So I set each of these two things equal. And what you have here is you have a system of equation. You have two variables, x and a y. So last year you learned that when you have that, you want to move everything over. You can see I moved everything over to get 10y minus 7x equals 0. And I just wrote it with my x first, negative 7x plus 10y equals 0. Then here you get, when you set them equal and move everything over, you get 6x minus 9y equals negative 3. So you have to, using the elimination method, you multiply this equation by 7, this equation by 6. And you end up with this right here. And then by adding these two equations together, you eliminate the x's. You end up with negative 3y equals negative 21, or y equals 7. And once you get y, you can plug it back in one of the equations and solve for x. You get x equals 10. Once you get the x and the y, you can plug it back into any of the equations. So angle 4 would be, instead of 8 times y minus 3x, I did 8 times 7 minus 3 times 10, because that's x and y now. You get 26 degrees, and angle 3 is supplementary to the 26 degrees, and you get 154. Okay? Go ahead and make sure you go back if you're not understanding. Pause the video, look through my work, and hopefully that helped with the homework.